Where's my daddy? I can't find him. I noticed a little girl crying in an aisle of a department store. She was nervously clutching her skirt, looking around frantically. As I approached her, she seemed a bit scared. But when I gently smiled and asked, "What's wrong? What's your name?" she cracked a slight smile. "I'm Emma. I came here with my dad, but now I can't find him." I took the girl to the Lost and Found, where a man in his 30s was speaking with an attendant. "Oh, Daddy!" Her father rushes up and hugs her tightly.
"Emma, you can't wander off like that. I was worried."
Then the father apologized to me, and in the flow of the moment, invited me for a coffee as a thank you. I wasn't overly enthusiastic about the coffee invite, but seeing the little girl's twinkling eyes as she looked up at me made me smile without thinking. This encounter was the beginning of everything for me. My name is Olivia, and I'm 47 years old. I work at a regular company. I married my husband Liam 20 years ago, and he had been married before. He had a 7-year-old daughter at the time named Emma. His previous wife fell seriously ill shortly after giving birth and passed away. Initially, my parents frowned upon the idea of me marrying an older man with a child, but eventually they came around and accepted our union. A kind-hearted Liam and his adorable Emma. I felt happy every single day after our marriage. However, that happiness didn't last forever. Liam, who had been so kind while we were dating, changed. I can't quite remember what triggered the shift. I think it was around the time I suggested adopting Emma, but it didn't seem like that was the cause. By the way, Liam rejected the idea outright, saying, "We don't need to adopt. It's a hassle." 3 years into our marriage, he started treating me like nothing more than a housekeeper.
"Is dinner ready? Make sure it's on the table when I get home." Or, "You call this clean? Do it again."
He would command, not just about household chores and cooking, but even trivial things like setting his alarm clock. Moreover, Liam barely contributed to the household expenses. He was a big drinker, coming home every evening after hitting the bars. The scent of cologne wafting from his suit made it clear that he wasn't just at any ordinary bar. As a result, I ended up covering most of our living costs. I work too, you know. Take care of yourself. Besides, you're not providing enough for the household. Think about Emma more, for goodness sake. Unable to hold back my anger, I confront him, but he snaps.
"Shut up. I only married you to have a housekeeper."
He throws things and spews abusive language. If this is how Liam really feels, it's beyond cruel. Suddenly, I recall the hesitance in my parents' faces when we got married. Because of that, I couldn't bring myself to consult with them. Then one day,
"You're such a useless housekeeper."
As always, Liam scolds me for no good reason. Then, "Stop being so mean to Mama." Emma stands up for me. Seeing her tiny, trembling body, I hold her close. Perhaps even Liam felt ashamed to continue his tirade in front of her. He leaves the room, defeated. The only saving grace is that he never does anything to Emma. Even Liam must find her adorable. When Liam leaves, Emma gently pats my head. There, that wasn't scary, was it?" The only one who was scared was likely her, not me. "Don't worry, Mama. I'll protect you." I can't help but shed tears at her words. Emma is now my only salvation. I feel pathetic for being so fearful. I have to be stronger for Emma's sake. That day, I made a strong resolution. Time flies, and it's the present. Emma, who was once 7, is now 27. I can't help but feel the weight of the years that have passed. After graduating from college, she got a job at a major company, but chose to continue living at home out of concern for me. I appreciate the sentiment, but I'm fine. Living on your own will probably be better for you in the long run, Emma. I say this, but Emma is adamant about staying home. After some thought, I decide to teach her household chores and accept some money from her for living expenses each month. It's important for her to learn domestic and financial skills. Liam is still the same, out drinking all the time. And of course, his tirades and verbal abuse toward me continue. Liam throws things, but never aims them at me, and he doesn't get physically violent. I think he wants to avoid being labeled as abusive. Though Liam does care for our daughter, he doesn't seem to like it when she stands up for me. The level of his verbal abuse has escalated over the years. I still get hurt by it, but I've grown more accustomed and have learned some skills to manage Liam somewhat. One day, Emma says, "I have someone I want you to meet," and brings her boyfriend. He's already proposed, so this is basically a family meeting. The man, William, works at a regular company. He made a great impression with his calm demeanor and kind smile. "You could have found someone who earns more, with your qualities." At Liam's comment, Emma cringes, and I'm about to reprimand him when William says, "You're absolutely right. Emma is beautiful and successful, too good for someone like me. But that's exactly why I feel like the luckiest man in the world for her to accept my proposal." I was truly impressed by how William responds, without a hint of displeasure, just a smile. Oh, the look on Emma's face at that moment. She was beaming like the heroine in a romantic comic. I'm certain that William will make her happy. Unlike my dad, he doesn't use harsh words or do anything people dislike. He's a wonderful man. Liam has no comeback for Emma's statement. I can't help but chuckle, and Liam shoots me a sidelong glare. Everything goes smoothly, and Emma and William eventually get married. Around the same time, they purchase a brand new single-family home. The wedding was set to take place about a year later, to coincide with the completion of their new home. The plan was to start their married life in the new home right after the wedding. Until then, Emma decided to live with William. Emma was still concerned about me, but I said, "I'm fine. Just be nice with William, okay?" This time, I'm the one giving Emma that extra nudge of support. I couldn't be happier for her happiness. Today, I even went with her to pick out her wedding dress. Just seeing how lovey-dovey she and William are, and how beautiful she looks in her dress, makes all past struggles seem to vanish. I got home in high spirits and was about to start preparing dinner when Liam stops me. "We need to talk. Sit down." As I sit down like I was told, I notice the divorce papers on the table. Liam has already filled out his part. He grins in a spiteful manner.
"Emma is getting married and leaving. You've served your purpose, so it's time for a divorce. You've been a housekeeper in everything but name for so long, even though we're basically strangers. Now it's your turn to fill these out."
I sigh. Ever since he first belittled me as a mere housekeeper, I've been under Liam's thumb. In the early days, I questioned if marrying him was a mistake, but I have no regrets, because I got to meet Emma. Could we at least wait until Emma's wedding is over? I don't really care about separating from Liam, but I want to see Emma's wedding through.
"No way. I won't allow you at the wedding. You're a stranger to me after all."
Liam's icy words just made me laugh weakly. Fine, we'll divorce, but you will regret this. Thinking my words were a poor loser's excuse, Liam snorts.
"Regret? From a housekeeper? Just get out."
Fine, I was going to leave anyway. That very day, I pack up the bare essentials and head back to my parents' home in the next town. It's been a while since I've seen my parents. They're surprised to see me, but without a word, they fill in the guarantor section of the divorce papers. When I tell them about how life has been, they're angry at Liam, but they also scold me for not consulting with them about anything. Despite their stern expressions, tears glisten in their eyes. "You've done well," they say, embracing me as we all shed tears together. The next day, I go to the city office to submit the divorce papers. Thoughts of Emma fill my mind. I feel guilty for leaving without telling her about the divorce, but I didn't want to be a roadblock to her happiness. This is for the best. It can't be helped, I mutter as if trying to convince myself. As I return from the city office and open the front door, I find Emma standing there like a guardian statue. Instinctively, I slam the door shut. Wait, what? Why is Emma here? Is this my parents' house? Maybe I'm hallucinating from thinking too much about Emma. Mom, why did you shut the door? I hear the sounds of Emma pounding on the door, clearly angry from the other side. So it wasn't my imagination. Nervously, I open the door and Emma rushes in. Her now grown body envelops me in a hug. She used to be so small. As I'm lost in thought, our eyes meet. Her eyes are red and bloodshot. Is it true you're getting divorced? You're not coming to the ceremony? Why did you leave without saying anything, huh? Though she's grown up, the way she interrogates me with tears in her eyes is just like the child I first met. Seeing my confusion, my parents and William appear from behind me. According to Mom, Emma arrived while I was at the city office.
Emma, Olivia is worried. Let's go inside for now, okay?
Once inside, Emma wipes her eyes and blows her nose with a tissue. How did you know I was getting divorced? Did you hear it from your dad? As I ask, Emma nods, sniffling. Yes, it's unbelievable. After all the hardship he's put you through, I'm ashamed that he's my father. According to Emma, that same night I left, he called her. Boastfully, he told her,
I finally divorced that housekeeper.
Moreover, Liam already has someone he plans to remarry, and he intends to bring her to Emma's wedding. Given that the divorce was already an unexpected and sudden event for Emma, it's understandable if she's upset. While I'm baffled by Liam's actions, Emma speaks up through her tears. Even if we're not related by blood, and even if you're divorced, you're still my mom. I want you at the ceremony as my mother, no matter what. Emma makes her plea, tears streaming down her face again. Next to us, William nods and says,
My parents are on board with this too. Can't you consider Emma's wish?
Is this really okay? As I'm hesitating, my parents give me a nudge.
Have some confidence. Blood isn't everything,
they say. Emma, William, thank you. I tightly grasp Emma's hand tightly. About 2 months after the divorce, my phone rings. The screen displays the name of my husband, or rather, my ex-husband.
What the hell do you think you're doing?
He screams at me right off the bat. What is this about? No greetings? I respond calmly, but Liam yells and rants furiously.
You sent a certified letter to me and Ava.
Upon hearing the name Ava, I can't help but smirk. That's the name of the woman Liam plans to marry. Ah, so that's why you're calling. I see you're now free to marry the woman you're having an affair with. Congratulations. Expect a bill for emotional damages from the divorce trial. I trust you and your wife can handle that. In a calm tone, I let it all out. I can hear Liam stuttering on the other end of the line. He must be scrambling to catch up mentally. I continued speaking. I had suspected your infidelity since your attitude towards me changed, but I never thought you'd actually been cheating for over a decade. Liam frequented a local bar. Turns out, he had been having an affair with the bar owner, Ava.
After marrying you, Ava confessed that she'd liked me for years. She encouraged me to enjoy our time together while you handle the housework and child rearing. It's not my fault. You're the one who lost your allure as soon as we got married.
I sighed as I listened to Liam's angry justification. His change in behavior toward me must have started when he began his relationship with his mistress. This must be why he never approved of Emma and me adopting to begin with. Liam seemed to have some affection for Emma as his daughter. If after adopting, I said, I'm divorcing you and taking Emma, you'd be in trouble, wouldn't you? Thinking about it that way made sense to me. You claim to love Emma, but you can't even understand her feelings. You're really pathetic. Emma said she's canceling your invitation to the ceremony. You're probably going to lose her too. And of course, I would become more domesticated after marriage. Are you clueless? Just be quiet.
What are you saying? Don't make a fool of me. And there's no way Emma would sever ties with me.
In response to Liam's irrationality, I had more to say. You've been belittling me all this time, but your pride sure is intact. Who do you think you are? That's why I told you you'll regret it." Holding back all this time made my words even sharper. Well, compared to the verbal abuse I've received from Liam, it was nothing. Liam, who had never heard me raise my voice, either was taken aback or just shut up. I go on to explain Liam's infidelity. "I found out about your affair 2 years ago when your mistress sent me a letter. It said, 'Liam has been mine for over 10 years now. You're too clueless to even notice. Maybe it's time for a divorce.' That letter was sneakily tucked into your jacket when you were drunk. Bold move. But it serves as great evidence. So it actually helped me. Even after suspecting and finding out about the affair, the reason I couldn't go through with the divorce was my concern for Emma. Though Emma was already an adult, I wanted to wait until she was married and moved out. So after the divorce, I consulted with a lawyer to demand alimony from Liam and his mistress in divorce court. By the way, learning that the statute of limitations for infidelity is 3 years from when you find out made me break into a cold sweat. Also, I'll be demanding alimony for the long-term emotional abuse I've suffered from you."
"Hold on, wait a minute."
Liam interrupts, visibly flustered by my continuing offensive.
"Forget the affair for a second. There's no evidence of emotional abuse. You can't do that."
I chuckle, having expected Liam to say exactly that. "I've kept diaries and household accounts since we got married. Everything you said and did is recorded, including the meager living expenses you gave me. I didn't say it on the phone to make sure Emma wouldn't be affected, but Emma had captured several instances of Liam throwing things at me and verbally degrading my character. With all this evidence, my lawyers gave me the green light."
"Wait, I was wrong. I'll divorce Ava right away. The only family that truly matters to me is you and Emma."
I can't help but laugh out loud. It just came out naturally. "So you throw away your mistress now, after finally remarrying? Emma and I don't consider you important at all." Liam was still talking, but I hung up the call and blocked his number. All that's left is to proceed with a lawyer. After this, I'm planning to consult with my lawyer again, this time about adopting Emma. A few months later, I was able to demand compensation from both Liam and his affair partner. Both of them seemed to have scrambled to gather a large sum of money, perhaps even taking on debt. I imagine they're struggling now, living in poverty and burdened by society's judgment. Especially for Liam's affair partner, who runs a snack bar, the damage must be immense. In businesses that rely on customer relations, trust is everything. Frankly, it serves them right. Today is Emma and William's wedding. As she declared, Emma didn't let Liam attend the ceremony. Whether or not I'll be able to adopt Emma is still under discussion with a lawyer. But even if it falls through, the bond between Emma and me is strong. Emma, draped in a pure white dress, is smiling happily with William.
"I'm the father of the bride. Let me go."
It seemed like there was a faint sound of a commotion with security outside the venue, but it must have been my imagination. After the ceremony, Emma and Liam asked me if I wanted to move in with them in their new home, but I declined. "I'll be there in a heartbeat if you two ever need help. Value your time together as a married couple," I told them. I handed over the money Emma used to give me for living expenses when she was single, along with a card gift at the party. I had been saving it secretly for a time when Emma would need it. I'm thinking of renting an apartment nearby to keep an eye on Emma and the others.